If we look at recycled gold, it's believed to be around 90% less carbon intensive than mined gold. So for investors that care a lot about sustainability, and if that's a big factor for them, we think that this ETC has quite a compelling sort of USP.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Jake Coulson. He's investment writer at HANetf. Jake, great to have you in the studio. Could you tell us a little bit about the first gold product you launched with the Royal Mint?
Yeah, absolutely. So back in 2020, we partnered with the Royal Mint to launch a gold ETC with them. And it was a pretty significant milestone because it marked the first time that a gold ETC had been launched with a European sovereign mint. The ETC itself, which is the Royal Mint Responsibly sourced physical gold ETC, it tracks the price of gold, but quite crucially, it's fully allocated. And what that means is that it's 100% physically backed by gold bars that are custodied by the Royal Mint at their highly secure purpose-built vault in Llantrys in Wales. And that's important for a few reasons. It means firstly that all of the gold is stored outside of the London banking systems, which can offer sort of real diversification for those that want that in their gold custody arrangements. But it also means that the Royal Mint have very close control over their supply. 100% of the gold bars in the ETC are London Bullion Market Association post-2019 responsibly sourced good delivery bars, and there's a growing number of post-2022 bars in there too. The other factor is that because of this fiscal backing, investors in the ETC have the option to actually physically redeem the gold that's in the product for gold bars from the Royal Mint, and also a range of coins like the Royal Mint Britannia and Sovereign range. So yeah, it's essentially quite an interesting ETC with a lot of different, quite compelling factors, we believe.
And the Royal Mint, obviously seen as a very prestigious institution in the United Kingdom. What are the benefits of having them as a partner on the product?
There's many benefits. I mean, they're one of the oldest companies in the world, so they see their foundations, I believe it was 886 AD, so we're talking the reign of Alfred the Great, and since then they've been minting gold. So if we're talking about gold standing the test of time, you could say that the Royal Mint has similarly stood the test of time over that very, very long period. And with that comes a great deal of experience and also a great deal of trust. You know, they are wholly owned by His Majesty's Treasury. So as I say, very much part of the British institution. But we also get some unique factors such as that close control that I was speaking about earlier. One example that I like to give is back in 2022, when Russia invaded Ukraine, immediately after all bars of Russian origin were just removed from the ETC because the Royal Mint have this very close control and were able to do that very quickly and very effectively, which I think is quite reassuring to investors that would be concerned about that. Another factor is that thanks to this partnership, we've also managed to introduce recycled gold bars to the ETC. So that's a relatively new aspect of the product. But essentially, there's a growing number of 100% recycled gold bars in the ETC. And as of right now, I believe over half the bars backing the products are 100% recycled gold.
Talking about recycled gold backing the ETCs, why in your view is this important, Jake?
I think it's important to investors insofar as when we're talking about recycled gold, we're talking about an alternative to mined gold. So currently at the moment, around 75% of the annual gold production is from mined gold. And most of the remaining 25% is from recycled gold. Now, mined gold has quite an impact on the earth. You need to shift a lot, and I mean a lot of earth in order to get the gold out. And that can have a huge impact on the landscapes, on the local ecosystems. And on top of that, the gold grades are worsening every year. So what that means is more and more earth has to be dug up to get the same amount of gold. So this is a problem that's only going to get worse. It's also very energy intensive. If you're mining, you have to have a lot of electricity for the extraction and also the grinding and processing of the gold ore. If we look at recycled gold, it's believed to be around 90% less carbon intensive than mined gold. So for investors that care a lot about sustainability, and if that's a big factor for them, we think that this ETC has quite a compelling sort of USP.
Recently, you've launched 3 additional gold products with the Royal Mint. Could you tell us more about those?
Yeah, of course. So the most recent additions to our range of ETCs with the Royal Mint are 3 currency hedged versions. So we have a pound sterling hedged, a euro hedged, and a Swiss franc hedged version of the ETC that I was talking about just now. And essentially for investors that want to cancel out sort of the US dollar exposure, they can do so through any one of these 3 ETCs. And they are sort of having all of the same benefits of the original Royal Mint ETC that I was speaking about. So they offer the same LBMA Gold bars. All of the bars in there are audited biannually, and the full bar list is always available on our website if you want to check out exactly which bars you have exposure to. Well,
I hope you'll keep us updated on any progress with those new ETCs. Thank you very much for coming through today.
Thank you very much for having me. It's been great to speak to you.
Great having you here too. That's Jake Coulson. He's investment writer at HANetf.